For many, Elon Musk is the real-life Tony Stark. He started with a simple app and became one of the richest men on the planet. But with great power comes great responsibility, and that's where the biggest criticism emerges. Musk has revolutionized the world with his inventions, many funded by the US government itself. And that's precisely what sparks debate. Is all that money really going to the best option, or does it end up benefiting just a few? Could those resources have been used to save Earth instead of trying to escape it? To understand this debate, we need to know the story from the beginning. Here's the context. Origin story. Elon Reeve Musk was born the 28th of June, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa. His parents were Mae Haldeman, a Canadian model and nutritionist, and Elon Musk, a brilliant electrical and mechanical engineer. Their work made the family well off, giving Elon and his siblings everything anyone could ask for. But despite this, his life was far from perfect. From a young age, he became a compulsive reader who could memorize absolutely everything he read and began showing intelligence slightly above the rest. But this made him a target for bullying at school for being seen as a nerd. He was shy with very few social skills. At home, things weren't much better. Errol raised Elon strictly and sometimes violently. Treatment he extended to the whole family. The constant physical violence toward Mae led to divorce when Elon was just 8. But a couple years later, Elon felt guilty and decided to move back with his father so he wouldn't be alone, which turned out to be one of the worst decisions he could have made. Life with his father became hell. Sometimes Errol was kind, but most of the time he'd transform, spending hours yelling at his son, telling him he was worthless, completely destroying his self-esteem. During this period, his father sent him to a hostile survival camp where they tested children's physical and emotional limits. They barely gave them food and water per day and encouraged them to fight each other for resources under the idea of making them men. To this day, Musk usually recalls these moments with his father and other children with a fake smile that hides his discomfort. In his own words, Errol is the most detestable and evil man he's ever known. But violence and showing strength never interested Musk. What really captivated him were books, video games, science fiction, computers, and technology. In his free time, he taught himself programming, which became his favorite hobby. Enthusiastic about learning more, he took some programming classes and then continued on his own. The result of hours of practice became the creation of his first video game called Blastar, a simple but entertaining space shooter. He sold it for $500 to PC and Office Technology magazine. All this at just 12 years old. The escape? As a teenager, determined to escape his father's abuse, an uncertain country, and military service, Elon moved to Canada at 17, taking advantage of his mother's nationality. His real goal was the United States, the land of technological opportunity. His target? Silicon Valley, the ideal place for a young computer enthusiast. His father told him he'd soon return to South Africa as a loser. But with just $2,000 saved, Elon stayed with a cousin in Saskatchewan and worked on a farm. He later moved to Kingston, Ontario, for university. In 1990, his mother and siblings also arrived in Canada to start a life away from Errol, more modest but happier. Elon finished his studies at Queen's and transferred to the University of Pennsylvania to study physics and economics. After graduating, he moved to California for a PhD in applied physics and materials science at Stanford, but dropped out after just 2 days. He had a better plan, starting his first company. Now, he was in the epicenter of technological innovation, and his goal was to make money doing something that would also bring change to the world.